Hello, hello. And today we have got another one of my lovely clients here with me. Just to have a little chat and find out a little bit more and talk about your logo. So this is Kathryn, and she is the owner of Career Owl. Kathryn, over to you. Do you want to give a little bit about yourself? Excuse me.
Yeah, thanks, Tracy. Are you okay?
Yeah, got
So
this frog
yeah,
in my
so I'm
throat.
Kathryn. I've owned my business for 4.5 years now, and I'm a career transformation specialist. So I support clients with all things career related. So from writing CVs, LinkedIn profile, job coaching, and interview coaching as well. And prior to that, I worked in HR for over 20 years. So sort of know what I'm talking about, I think.
You definitely
So
do.
yeah. So yeah, exactly.
So when you first came to me, because we've known each other for a while now, and what was it that kind of finally made you think, oh, I need to update my logo and have a little bit of a rebrand?
I think it was a couple of things. One, my logo, I created myself, my old one, when I first set the business up. And to be honest, it wasn't very good, but it served its purpose when I
Yeah.
set the business up, when I didn't have a lot of disposable income. And I was approaching my fourth business birthday, and I thought, do you know what? Actually, I want to treat the business. I almost said myself, it's got a bit of both, to having a logo that really sort of represented me and the brand, and made it sort of stand out in the market as well. So, but still keeping the essence of the owl.
And I think your story is not unusual, Kathryn. A lot of people come to me and just say when they first started out, they've just got a logo done quickly from like maybe Fiverr or somewhere like that, or they've done it themselves. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because, as you mentioned, we haven't all got a big budget when we first start out, and so the main thing is just to get yourself out there, isn't it, really? But it does come to a point in your business where you just feel like you need that little bit of extra oomph, because we all change as well, don't we? Like, I'm sure your business isn't the same as it was 4 years ago.
No, I mean, I'm sort of now at the point where I've worked with over 500 clients since I started the
Wow.
business, and at all different levels. So not just the early career people; it's all the way up to C-suite clients now, which is just still amazes me every time, which is just fabulous. And I think it's, for me, I wanted something that really represented all of the different types of clients that I work with. For me, I work with clients across lots of different sectors as well. So I didn't want something that was too corporatey. Having worked in corporate, prior to it, I know, it's very easy to kind of go, well, I wanted something like that. But actually, I wanted still that fun element of, and that approachable element. And that's what, Tracy worked to wonders with it and made it fab.
Oh, thank you. Hang on, I've just realised I've changed gallery. Let me hang on. No, is that how we're going to do? We're up. We're up now. We're up. You're above me now. I just wanted to change it so I could see you side by side because I forgot that. And yeah, thank you. And I think that's an important thing as well, because you said that you work with so many different people, you didn't want it to feel stuffy. And I think that's where the misconception be. People sometimes are trying to appeal to all the masses, whereas really your brand, especially because it's you, you are the face of your business, it needs to represent you.
Yes.
And you're
Yeah,
not a
absolutely.
corporate stuffy person. Obviously, I've known you for quite a few years now, and I think that's a really important bit, is to for it to actually represent you a little bit as well, have a bit of your personality, because it is your business.
Yeah, no, and that was what was really good about, the conversations, from when we had our initial kickoff meeting. And I know we sort of knew each other through various things beforehand, but actually what was great in that kickoff meeting was that we could talk about who I was as well and what I wanted the brand to represent. So, and he asked me loads of really great questions to kind of probe that as well, so that it, actually, did I want something more corporate, or did I want something that had that essence of fun, I guess. If you can say, that personality, that sort of allow me to shine out in it as well. So, but still had that, that it's not professional, but that's still that impression of
Yeah,
that actually I'm not just doing it, that gimmick.
yeah,
I
you're
guess
not
is
like a
probably the
Dell
right
boy.
word. No, absolutely. And I think that's where, and that was what was really good with, our conversations, because it, it allowed you to kind of get that from me, you know, and I then felt that you knew who I was and what I wanted, but I
Yeah,
was
I
then
think
trusting
that's
you to deliver it.
and thank you for trusting me, because it is hard sometimes, I think, for people to imagine, like, why are you asking me these sorts of questions sometimes? And I know, like, some of them can be quite deep at times, but there's a reason behind it, is because, you know, I can make something look nice and pretty, but at the end of the day, it needs to have that substance and foundation and core elements of you. So, and also we need to kind of think about your clients as well and what they're going to need. So, yeah, I'm glad that really helped you. Because as well, I
Yeah.
think that helps people reevaluate some bits in their business as well. Sometimes it might give a glimmer of like, oh, what do I want in 5 years' time?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, you know, what was really good was it, you know, it reminded me about what I want from the business as well. So it kind of like, you know, it wasn't just about getting a logo done or getting a branding done. It was also thinking about, well, where do I see the business going? Because ultimately, whatever we created together, and it was very much, it did feel very much like a partnership that, you know, yes, you're doing the hard work, but, you know, it was very much to that partnership that I wanted something that was going to be sustainable for, you
Yeah,
know, going on in the business, you know, because there's no point going through and creating a logo that actually in 12 months' time, 2 years' time, you go, do you know what, actually, it's not me anymore and it's not the business. And, you know, so again, actually through the conversations we had, you know, you did ask me those questions around, well, where do you see the business going? What, you know, what do you want to achieve from it? Which actually really helps to kind of give that foundation.
definitely. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think it's a little bit like the difference between going to Primark and buying a jumper from there, where you're going to accept that's only going to last a year, 2 years, unless you're quite lucky with it. Or you fork out, you go to Marks and Spencer's, or even a little bit, you know, upper market, you know, get a nice Versace top or whatever. Even if they do them, I don't know. I don't buy anything like that. But you know what I mean? It's that difference, isn't it,
Yeah,
between the sustainability of something, you know, and that is quite an important thing as well, because yes, we do change as a business and our services are as, but you do want, if you're investing in something, you do want it to last quite a while. Get your money's worth as well.
absolutely. You know, and it wasn't, you know, it wasn't about the money. It was about actually something that really showed the brand off, you know, and actually showed that I value my brand as well in the market, because it's, you know, and I didn't feel that with my old logo. It was kind of, you know, I did just create it, you know, it was very cheaply done, you know, and it and whilst yes, it worked for, you know, the business in its infancy, you know, sort of the 18 months prior to, you know, us doing the logo rebrand, it was the business had moved on massively, and actually therefore needed something to then support with that, you know, the growth of, and change in the business. And, you know, and that's why I sort of came to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you did, because I'm really happy with, obviously we're both really happy with what was the end result, which we can talk about in a minute. I just wanted to ask you a few little things. Was there anything unexpected that came from working with me that you didn't quite expect at the time? Was there anything that kind of took you by surprise and thought, oh, wasn't expecting that?
I think, you know, actually what's kind of come, you know, off the, you know, well, there were a couple of things. One is, you know, the amount of different options that you gave me originally, which was great, which then I went to, you know, my accountability buddy, I went to family and went, which one do you like? And I went to, you know, to my son as well. I went, which one do you like? To kind of help me choose it, because I was just like, I like them all. So that was on one hand where I was like, I could have had them all. But then also what it's then done is off the back of everything has then helped shape me in terms of creating other documents going forward. So like my lead magnets, which we're obviously doing something together at the moment on, which is great, you know, but also like my social media stuff that, you know, you kindly gave me some sort of examples, and then actually I'm now kind of rolling with those as well. So, which again helps with that, you know, the universal approach, so that people kind of say, oh yeah, that's Kathryn's pose for the career role, because it's in that brand, so people are starting to kind of recognize from that. So there's a bit more consistency, I guess, in my approach,
Yeah, I think
which
what
has been fun.
yeah, what you're kind of saying is like, because we did the brand guidelines, didn't we? So and that's like the Bible of your brand, where everything's there. So, and I think that a lot of people find that really useful, because you can just refer to it. And I do the same with my own one from time to time, because you can kind of just go off on a tangent. Sometimes it can be quite easy to um go, oh, you're on Canva, oh, look at that nice new template, or that nice font, or that nice color, and before you know it, you've clicked and done something completely different to your brand. But that's obviously then going to dilute your brand, and people aren't going to recognize you as much. So I think that's quite helpful when you've got all of that in place, because, as you say, it gives you the confidence to then go off and do all the other bits yourself. Or you can give them to your VA if you've got a VA. You can give them to another designer if you're working with somebody else, maybe on a website or something. So it's kind of like the Bible of your brand, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's good to refer back to it as well. So, with, you know, pulling in elements into things as well. So, that's one of the things we're doing with the lead magnet at the moment, which is great, because it is then bringing in some of the essence of the brand into how you highlight things and stuff, which is great, because it's, using it so that people kind of go, oh yeah, well that's that, and that's, and it's starting some of those conversations as well, which is great. So you're not just getting, I say just, but it's, you're getting a logo, but you're also getting far more than that. You're getting something which is that lasting, sustainable piece, which is just amazing. And thank you, Tracy.
You are more than welcome. I loved working on it, and thank you for trusting me with it, because yeah, it was one of the first bigger logos that I've done in quite a while, and it's quite nice just to get my head back into logo time. And it's nice just to get a little bit of free reign, because although we obviously went through all the calls and we had the questionnaire and everything, to go away and actually translate that into what's in my mind, but your mind as well, because they can end up being quite different sometimes. So that's why it's quite nice, as well, as you touched on earlier, to have a few choices to choose from. So at least you're not feeling like you just get the one and go, oh, was that it?
Yeah, and like with mine, we ended up with, I think there was like three that we took different elements from. I think, from what I can remember, that we had the owl off one, but then we had the writing off another, and then we had something else off, I think the stars off another, because I quite like, and then you combined it to make it into the logo that it is now. So, and you can do that, and it's, and you're open to that, which is great, because there was that kind of like, she's going to hate me for doing it, because there is that worry of like, I've got to go back and tell her. But actually, it's about making that, for you, I knew that you'd want me to feedback of making
Yeah,
something that I was happy with, because actually then I will go out and say, well, actually Tracy did this for me and it's amazing and everything. And, because it's ultimately, it's your reputation as well, isn't it? Of, you don't want a customer going away unhappy, and I certainly wasn't.
oh gosh, no,
And
definitely
it was
not.
great,
Yeah.
what you did.
Oh, thank you. Because I think that is a thing as well. Because I think a lot of people might be a bit scared to give feedback and
Yeah,
say they might not like a certain element, or get worried that they're going to charge, which is obviously why I include revisions within like the price anyway. But us designers have got a hard skin, thick skin with that kind of stuff.
yeah,
And as long as I think the main thing is to get the constructive feedback, and not just say I don't like it. What is it about something that you don't like, or what is it that we could do instead? And because at the end of the day, yeah, I want you to have something that you love. I don't want to give you something that you're never going to use, or just cringe every time you look at it. Because yeah, I just couldn't do that. I'd feel really awful.
no. And I think that was what was nice about the process was, because we'd had that really good kick-off meeting right at the beginning, where we had kind of ironed out some of those, what could be potential pain points with it. Because I think, I'm sure, as a designer, if you don't get the right brief, then how on earth can you be expected to achieve things? And actually, it's, as a client, it's your responsibility to be as clear as to you as to what you want, what the end goal ultimately is. So, if there are things that you want to keep, so like for me, I wanted the owl to remain
Of
somewhere
course.
in it, that that it was then, you knew you had to fit that in
Yeah.
somewhere.
So
Now, you know, you can't then go through it, can you, and say, oh, well, actually, you never put the owl in it. You never told me.
I think that's really an important thing that you raised, actually, because yeah, when people come to me, yeah, I think it's a two-way street. It's the client's responsibility to obviously give me information, but ultimately, how do you know what information to give sometimes? So that's then my job to ask the right sort of questions and guide you through it as well, which is as well in Notion when you know, I always give a few tips of things to look out for, of I use the right fonts, the right colours and all of that stuff, because otherwise it can be a
Which
little
is
bit
great.
overwhelming, can't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's, you know, I know sort of, you know, for me, you know, I looked at, you know, that the initial versions that you created, and then I put it away for a bit, and then I came back to it again, and then I showed it to other people and stuff, because it's not just a, don't just look at it straight away, you know, you can't make a decision straight away, because actually it's really important to have that reflection time. And, you know, for most people, you have to let it soak in before you know, you say yes and everything. So, and that was what was good, that you didn't feel like you had to make a decision straight away.
No, I always say to clients at least 5 days, but I mean it can be a bit longer or shorter, just depending on schedules and timelines and things. But because it's a big decision, and it's a bit like if you're going out to buy a big purchase, a car, a TV, anything like that, you're going to do a little bit of research and then go away, have a little think about it, isn't it? And it's the same kind of thing, because it is a big thing to do and to change, and you just want that time to absorb it. And although obviously you can go around, you can show your friends, your family, and so forth, it's ultimately you that's got to make that decision, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it was just, you know, for me, asking people, it was just, what do you think? But it
Yeah.
wasn't as a, you know, and I asked, you know, a couple of clients, you know, as well, that I, you know, had worked with, who I knew, you know, would give me an honest opinion and stuff. And that was what, you know, that was really good, because,
Ah,
you know, actually it's, yes, you can ask your friends, your family and stuff, but they don't necessarily get everything about your business. I don't mean that in a bad way, but, you know, it's,
yeah,
they know you own a business, but it's not, they don't necessarily get everything. Whereas actually asking a client was better, because they've worked with me, so they know me. So
yeah,
actually it
that's
was
a really
quite
good
good to kind of
idea.
also get that as well. So, you know, I'd certainly recommend that if people are, you know, coming to work with you, for that, you know, asking ideal clients or clients you work with, because it's, they're your, the person that you want to be attracting.
Yeah, that's a really good point as well, actually, and something to definitely note for anyone else in the future. So we've got your logo, we've done all your branding and everything else. How do you think now, after having your rebrand, how do you think it's affected your business and you and just in general?
But I'm certainly proud of my new logo and branding. I think it's made, you know, really supported the visibility of things as well. So it's that, you know, so people are sort of seeing and recognizing, you know, I've had clients comment on, oh, I love you, Owl, and everything, you know, and I think that, you know, that's really nice to kind of hear, because, you know, you obviously do it. And yes, obviously asked a couple of clients, but actually, you know, potential new clients are saying, oh, what attracted me to you was A, your posts, and B, you know, your imagery and stuff. And it's just like, okay, this is little old me. And sits there going, am I really that good? You know, and you kind of do start, you know, you kind of question it in your head. And actually, I think it's given me that support blanket around the whole branding piece. So, you know, and I think that's been a real positive from it.
Oh, that's really good to hear as well, because as well, yeah, you're right. It's obviously the everything working together, isn't it? It's like the text that you're writing, which is obviously you, and then the graphics on top of that as well. So it's everything working together, which is ultimately your brand. So what would you say to somebody if they were thinking about investing in a new logo and debating whether to work with me or not? What would you say to someone?
Go for it. Tracy's lovely, and, you know, and you wouldn't find, you know, you won't find a better person to support you with a rebrand, because she, you know, you ask the right questions, and, you know, so that you get to the bottom of, you know, what it is that you're looking for at the end. So whether that is any imagery that you want in it, whether that's specific wording, specific colours. So, you know, again, we had a chat, didn't we?
Yeah.
I remember, you know, around, you know, I wanted the pink in, you know, and then you kind of matched everything else with it. So, you know, and that really helped to kind of ensure that the end product was what I really want, and what I feel proud to share as well, because ultimately that's what you've got to be proud of it, you know, because yes, you've invested, and it's not about the money and stuff. Yes, it's part of it, but you know, but what you want is actually, does it tick the boxes that you wanted to achieve, you know, when you started working, you know, on your new logo rebrand? And if it does, then you know that's absolutely so important. And I would
100%.
highly recommend it.
Thank you. Gonna make me blush in a minute or cry.
Oh, please don't cry.
There'll be happy tears, but and I want to just say something as well, because you've gone off and got it trademarked as well now, haven't you?
I have, yes, yes, because I was so much like, you know, for me, because it is my brand now, and it was just so important to make sure that nobody copied the brand. So I got it trademarked. So yeah, it came through about a month ago. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So, yeah, we've got to add all the trademark logos onto your logo now, haven't we?
Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. It'll be a pleasure to add them all on.
Yeah, no, but it, you know, and that was the other thing I meant to say as well, is that what you don't, you know, what you're great at doing as well with the, you know, with the guide at the end, is that, you know, I got not just my principal logo, but I got various secondary logos in different colors, in different styles, in, you know, ones like submark ones, so that like abbreviations of different parts of the logo and stuff. And that was, you know, that's just amazing, and it's kind of then encouraged me to keep going with some of the imagery as well, that, you know, that I use, because, you know, to make things stand out a little bit more, so you haven't just got the boring bullet points that everybody normally sees in documents. So, you know, and that's kind of been giving me the encouragement to keep doing that.
Oh, that's really good to hear. Thank you. Yeah, because I think when I gave you all the different logo suites, you were like, "Oh, what's all this?" It took you by surprise a little
Yes.
bit, didn't it?
I just thought I was going to get one.
No, you'll never get just the one with me.
No, but and that's what's amazing about it, you know. And I think that's, you know, when you sort of said, was there some, you know, anything that sort of surprised you? Yeah, that was because I didn't, well, I wasn't expecting, you know, some example social media stuff, you know, different types of logos and things that I could use, you know, the different elements of the graphics that again I could kind of then pull out and put into, you know, instead of using, you know, I could use an owl wing for a bullet point or something instead, you know. It's that, you know, or a star or something, which again kind of helps with, you know, when you're writing social media stuff, or, you know, creating lead magnets or anything like that. It's breaking up the text, but
Yeah,
keeping your brand still alive
exactly.
with it as well. So, you
You're
know, and that
literally
was
killing
great.
two birds with one stone there, aren't you, really? So,
Yeah, absolutely, you know, and also having all like the brand, you know, the brand colors as well, so actually what fits all together. So like you said, because it is on, you know, on Canva or anything like that you use like that, it's so easy to get into the, well, I like that color. Suddenly you're going off on an entirely different tangent that just doesn't fit with your brand. And, you know, actually it's a great document to be able to kind of like pull you back in.
yes, definitely. It's good to have that reminder every now and again, isn't it?
Yes, but not in a teacher way, in a nice,
Right.
you know, you know, even though in the back of your head you go, no, Tracy, say not that colour, and then you put it away. But you
I
know,
like,
but it's in a good way that, you know, you're ensuring that that consistency piece.
yeah, I like that actually. I like the fact that I'm in your head all the time.
You are, when every time I create an image, what do I think about? No, I don't like that one. Put that one
What will
away. So.
Tracy say?
But you
Oh,
know, but I think it's important because, you know, I'm not a designer, you know, it's not my specialism. And actually saying, you know, but it's weird because that's what I say to clients when I work with when they employ me. But you know, it works the same for you, that, you know, it's better to employ somebody who knows what they're doing to create you something that's not going to infringe any trademarks. It's not going to infringe, you know, like breach your branding guidelines or anything. It's showing you in the right light, so that actually when people come and approach you and actually meet you face to face, it's like, actually you're not talking a load of cobbles or anything, because actually it's, it all fits together, and that's what's really great about working with you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it's been lovely talking to you today. It was just really nice to hear the experience that you've had from everything, and ultimately it was lovely working with you and creating something so special for you. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing. So
Oh,
really
thank
touched.
you. I'm touched. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye.